Hello everyone, I'm ExtraCheesy87 and this is Let's Play Trails of Cold Steel Part 57. In the previous video, we finished off at Chapter 4, which is why we're sitting on the main screen, because once we load in this save, we'll probably launch into the start of the Chapter 5 intro, which is pretty exciting, because I'm thinking Chapter 5 is going to line up with the flash forward we saw at the start of the game, just based on like our overall level situation, approximately. And also the timeline, you know, I mean, we just jumped forward like 3 weeks almost, so that pretty much lines up with the Zemurian Trade Conference.
Mid-August. It was the peak of summer, and the sweltering sun was beating down on the residents of Trista. After returning from Heimdall, we were given a whopping 5-day summer vacation before the school year resumed.
And let me guess, Reen spent most of it trying to find cats and deliver notebooks? Also trying to...
Turns out, Thor sticks to its military roots, only granting extended vacations to students over the New Year's holiday.
And also trying to carry dueling students through impossible robot boss fights.
However, nobles are allowed to visit home, ostensibly to give them time to become familiar with their family's holdings.
That's me vomiting at the thought of these nobles getting extra free time off.
And, as you might expect, that meant most students from Classes 1 and 2 spent summer away from Trista. Meanwhile, Classes 3 through 5 were stuck on campus, envying the nobility as they studied and trained as usual. The other members of Class 7 and I chose to stay in Trista as well, facing the heat with our fellow students.
And also because I'm terrified of going back home, so I mean, you know, eventually they're gonna make Reen go home. In one of these games. They're gonna drag him kicking and screaming up north. Oh, it's so hot, I'm dying in here. I'm sick of this heat already. Talking about it's just making me feel even hotter. The Academy should install an orbital air conditioner, at least then it'd be easier to cope. An orbital air conditioner? What is that? It's this device that blows out cool air to help regulate a room's temperature? Maybe it'd help if you think of it as the opposite of a stove. Wow, that's some kind of wizardry. I've heard of them, but aren't they supposed to be prohibitively expensive? Only the most modern buildings seem to be able to afford them. Did you have one in your house? Well, there's one in the Reinford Company's corporate headquarters, yeah? It'd be nice if my mother could spare one, you know, for the academy she sits on the board of directors for. Seems to be a bit too much to hope for. This is a military academy, so I doubt we'd expect to be indulged quite that much, unless you're in the nobility where you get a sweet-ass mansion to live in. Still, machine to help us cool in the summer. Whoever first invented that should get a medal. Yes, they should. It's 95 degrees outside, I think, for reference, where I am right now. So, big fan of the air conditioning. I'll admit, the summer heat there is more difficult to cope with than in Legram. But as long as I think of it as another part of my training, it doesn't bother me all that much. Railhard gets similar summer heat waves, but there's occasionally a breeze blowing in from the canyon at this time of year. That does make the summers a bit easier to manage. My hometown's up in the mountains, so it's pretty cool even around this time of year. Actually, now that you mention it, I would have thought you three would all go back home for the summer, being nobles and all. You were given permission, weren't you? If everyone else was going home, I would have considered it. But in the end, I decided against it. I mean, it wasn't all that long ago I got to see Elise. Maybe next year. I came here to train. Until I feel like I've made significant progress, I have no intention of returning home. I mean, come on, Laura. You used to be like, what, like level 7? Now you're like level 37. That's pretty good progress. Some of you saw my father's mansion. You think I'd go back to a place like that willingly? I'd much rather stay here and take my chances with heat stroke. You're really that uncomfortable at home, huh? Still, hot as it is, there's a lot going on right now. Not all the people headed to the conference at the end of the month have much time to be worrying about the heat. You make a good point. Talking about the West Zemuria Trade Conference, right? That's the one. There's never been an international conference on that scale before, at least not in modern times. Mayor Dieter Kreuss, who happens to be the International Bank of Crossbell's CEO, is the one who first proposed it. I've heard that Prince Olivert will be attending on behalf of His Majesty the Emperor, and Chancellor Osborne is supposed to be attending too. Seems crazy to think we met them both just a few weeks ago. The Chancellor in particular was a pretty intimidating figure. Seemed like a big scary monster. We could take him. I heard he served in the Imperial Army prior before becoming a politician. I don't know where I got prior from. Then 11 years ago, His Majesty entrusted him with the position of Chancellor. Supposedly a full 70% of the Imperial Army is under his jurisdiction. There's no way this could ever backfire. His real fame comes from establishing most of the nation's railway networks centered on the capital. He's also been responsible for annexing several smaller countries and independent states around Erebonia. I believe those all took place without any bloodshed, though, at least as far as I'm aware. I like she doesn't like deny the idea that, like, oh, many people may have died, but at least we didn't hear about it. I wouldn't put too much stock in what he's selling. Military spending in this country has increased exponentially since he took up his position as Chancellor. And that's only possible thanks to tax revenue he gleans from the people of Heimdall and those annexed nations. Well, he was the one who ordered the construction of those 2 railway guns that they've got pointed at Crossbell, too. At one point, Erebonia was on the verge of a full-scale war with Calvert because of those things. Oh yeah, I heard about that. It was actually Louvrel that proposed a way to avoid an armed conflict. Ended up signing the non-aggression pact, right? Yeah, though as I'm sure you've noticed, there's still quite a bit of tension between the 2 countries. I wouldn't be surprised if the issue reared its head again during the trade conference. Chancellor Osborne's been a real popular figure in the capital, though. Popular enough that he seems to have a group of terrorists after him. He does seem to be the Imperial Liberation Front's main target, doesn't he? You know, the hammer of judgment that shall topple the dictator and all that. Indeed, they seem to harbor a deep-seated grudge against him. Their anger seems a bit unusual in its intensity, didn't it? He does seem like the type who'd make a lot of enemies, especially with a face like that. Well, I'd rather not speak ill of my father's close ally, but he's kind of a dick. Come to think of it, isn't the instructor awfully late? It's well past time for homeroom to start. Oh, I thought class was over. Dude, it should have started about 10 minutes ago, actually. Well, I mean, we don't ever learn anything anyway, so what's the point? I swear, that woman. She better not be sleeping off another hangover back at the dormitory. Wouldn't put it past her. I wish I could say there's no way our upstanding instructor would do that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Excuse me. I'll have you know I did no such thing. Today.
You're not supposed to eavesdrop, that's rude.
Instructor?
Good morning, instructor.
Teacher's pet.
Morning, everyone! Anyway, I'll have you know I've got a good reason for being late today.
Oh god, and how's she gonna try and kill us this week?
And that reason is, we're going to be welcoming a new classmate today.
You don't think...
What?
I mean, there is a conspicuously empty desk over there, but,
A transfer student at this time of year?
I mean, the only other character we've met is Milliam.
Seriously?
All right, come on in.
Righto.
Okay, we're good, we're good. Is that Crow? It is Crow, okay.
Huh?
Sir, aren't you, like, about to graduate?
Crow?
But isn't he a second-year student?
I'm Crow Armbrust. Starting today, I'll be joining you fine folks as a member of Class 7.
I mean, I have noticed that there's 2 empty, rooms in the dormitory. But,
It's gonna be pretty sweet, guys.
and Crow was one of the people that I thought could maybe join, but I kind of figured that'd be like, in the next game.
What?
What?
But then again, yeah, he would
how?
have probably graduated by then. But I don't know, maybe he fails on purpose. He gets held back.
Are you sure you want to know? It's a long tale fraught with the intrigue of school politics.
I don't think I'd put it quite like that. Back in his first year, he slacked off so much that he ended up failing a few of his classes. Then he came crying to me in a panic, like, "Oh, help me, Instructor Sarah! They're not gonna let me graduate." So, as a special exception, he's going to be joining us for the next 3 months to pay for his laziness.
Okay.
You can't be serious.
Why not?
That's an even more pathetic reason than I was bracing myself for.
I think you already know that Crow was one of the trial users for the Arcus test they ran last year.
Now, do I think... I mean, it's already been kind of implied that Crow's like a secret genius, right? So I'm assuming he failed on purpose to stay at the academy longer, and now is maybe trying to infiltrate Class 7. Because, I mean, really, he's probably the one that, like, I would not be surprised if he's like an Ironblood or something like that.
So I thought he might be a good role model for you. In that sense, anyway.
Mostly just because he seems so similar to Lecter, like, you know, like personality-wise, plus they kind of, like, did the same thing with him, where they had Lecter pretend to be a student and, you know, try and kind of not really infiltrate the Genis Academy, but...
And don't forget, he'll also be joining us on our future field studies, too.
Nice. Looks like you saved me the trouble of having to explain it all. Anyway, let's let the good times roll. Oh, and since we're all classmates now, no need for all that sweet talking you lay on the other second years, all right?
You do realize you owe us like 1 trillion mirror at this point.
Right.
Easier said than done, I fear.
If he was any more laid back, he'd be comatose.
I mean, that's coming from Fee.
Instructor, I can't help but notice you left the door open.
No, we can't. There's not enough desks for another person.
Wait, is there someone else too?
Oh no. Look at Reen. He's so worried.
Huh? Are you serious?
Reen, you performed so poorly on the last exam that you've been kicked out of school and you're being replaced.
Oh, I was hoping to catch you off guard.
You think it's going to be another one of the Gang of Four?
All right, come on in and say hello.
I mean, of the other Gang of Four that Crow's associated with, I would assume it's... I mean, it's either Angelica or Toa. I'm gonna say Angelica, because, I mean, you know, Toa does... I mean, I could see Angelica also potentially, you know, failing, I'm using air quotes here, her stuff.
I thought you forgot I was out in the hall!
Oh god, it is Milliam! No, I've been debated! Oh, what? Ah, what the hell? Why did she move like that? That's the creepiest shit I've ever seen.
What?
What?
She had like 3 frames of animation for that.
You must be joking.
Well, I did think it was going to be Milliam at first, but then my guard got taken off by Crow.
Hey, aren't you...
So that does make me feel like, I don't know, now maybe that does take a little suspicion off Crow, because I wouldn't think they would put 2 Ironbloods to monitor Class 7, but...
You're the girl we met in the Nord Highlands.
Yuppers! Long time no see, guys!
You can't say that word, that's my word.
But I see a couple of you I don't know, so I guess I better introduce myself. I'm Milliam Orion.
Ah,
And this here is Aragetlum, but we'll just call him Lammy for short.
how'd he fit in through the door? Bro, you can't say that in a classroom.
What the hell is that? Holy crap!
It's that thing we saw at Ark's fort.
So this is that strange girl you met in the Nord Highlands.
Oh, and a little house rule before anything gets blown up. No bringing that thing out in the classroom. If he accidentally smashes a wall or blasts through the ceiling, I'm the one who's gonna get chewed out for it.
Boo! Fine.
You think Lammy's gonna turn into a desk for her? Because there's not enough room.
Anyway. Nice to meet you guys.
Don't ever do that again.
Tell me you're kidding. Please?
I really wish I could.
Well, I can see we're in for some fun times these next 3 months.
We're gonna get beaten by her on the final exams, aren't we? We're gonna get beaten by a fucking 9-year-old. End me, dude! Just freaking fade me, man. 3 days went by. At first, no one was sure what to make of Crow arm burst in the Intelligence Division agent Milliam Orion's sudden transfer into Class 7. But within a matter of days, it almost felt like they'd been there all along. Oh no. I'm sure none of you need to be reminded that it was none other than Emperor Dracos who ended the War of the Lions, but did you know the historical records tell us that he had amazingly few soldiers under his command? Yes, he was able to win the war with the power of the orbital radio. A secret magic version. Initially, his allies numbered only a few confidants and several warriors from Nord. And while supporters rallied to him in each region, his rank still couldn't hope to compare to the other prince's armies. But thankfully, all of his companions were OP as shit, and he was able to win. Nonetheless, they continued to advance, liberating region after region, and after half a year of bloody battles, Prince Dracos met perhaps his most well-known supporter. Milliam, right? Well, you happen to know the historical figure to whom I'm referring? I mean, I guess lady? Sure do! Leanne Sandlot. Also known as the Lance Maiden, dude, Crow. Okay, so Crow got an extra desk. Oh, right you are, well done! Sandlot was the daughter of a count who ruled over a remote region, and accounts tell us she showed great martial skill from a young age. In particular, her skill with the lance was unparalleled. No records exist of her ever being bested in combat. Just check back in a few months when she gets her ass beat on top of Stargazer Tower. The Lance Maiden also had a group of mighty warriors under her command who fought alongside her in battle. Perhaps you'd like to illuminate us in the name of this famous band, Oh, I actually know this. This is where I picked the wrong answer accidentally. A group of mighty warriors, that's the Eisenreiter, right? Oh god, now I don't remember what the stall... Wait. I do recognize the word stall, but I can't think of who that were. Is that what the Valkyries called themselves? But like the originals were called the Eisenreiter, right? Because I think that's what the 3 Valkyries you meet in Azure, they call themselves this. But they're based on the Eisens. Or is it vice versa? I don't know, I'm going Eisen. The Eisenreiter, also known as the Iron Knights. They were a band of knights said to be able to charge across the battlefield like lightning, cutting down all in their path. Correct! You've done your homework, okay. They kind of had like a little trick question there, but... The Wandering Prince met the Lance Maiden one day during a prolonged conflict in the remote region of the country. After recognizing each other as a reliable and trustworthy, they pledged to fight together under a united banner. With the Lance Maiden and her knights bolstering his ranks, Dracos' army swept through one region after another. In just a year, he was able to defeat the other princes and free the imperial capital Heimdall. As an interesting footnote, the castle the Eisenreiter used as their base of operations 250 years ago just so happens to be only a hop, skip, and a jump away from Laura's home in Legram. Okay. Maybe that's where the tradition of martial excellence comes from. Indeed, it is known as Lohengrin Castle? I don't know, that's the one you're going to have to say out loud for me. It's a beautiful old building situated on the shore of Lake Ebel to the west of Legram. Oh, you've mentioned that before. Does anyone live there now? No, due to the dangerous terrain there, no one goes near it. These days it exists simply as a relic of a bygone age, though it will probably be a dungeon in this game or one of the future ones. The Arside family is responsible for the care and maintenance of the castle, though really only minimal work is done. Is it Arsaid? Can't remember. I'm gonna say Arsaid. Speaking of the Arsaid house, was it one of your ancestors, the Eisenreiter's second in command? Indeed, the Lance Maiden's most trusted assistant and confidant, from what I understood. The Sandlot family ended with the death of the Lance Maiden, and it's partly because of that the Arside family mourns her death each year. I see. Oh, what a fascinating story. Legram, huh? Never had a mission there, so I've never been able to go. Maybe I should have stopped by and went to Brayheart a while back. You'd think she'd at least try and conceal the fact that she gets sent all over the country on secret missions? No, she totally just let it slip that she was doing something in Brayheart too. Well, I suppose it's better than her being all distant and cagey around us. Okay, so tomorrow's a free day, which means that next Wednesday you'll have your usual practical exam, so you better all bring your A game. Oh, and Milliam and Crow, a few must-have instructional materials you guys are going to need as part of Class 7 finally showed up. I'll hand that stuff over to you once we're done here, so I want you to come with me to the faculty lounge. Righto? Man, what a drag. Alright, homeroom's out for the day. Flee while you can! Marcus, if you'll do the honors. Yes, instructor. All rise. Bow. Absolutely not. You'll never make me bow. So, what do you think? Well, I don't think we have to be on our guard around her, at least. Same. I'd rather she kept that giant silver thing of hers hidden. I don't think she's a bad girl. I was taking a nap in the courtyard yesterday and she came and fell asleep next to me. What does that have to do with whether or not she's trustworthy? They look like a couple of kittens all curled up together. Their personalities may be worlds apart, but they're both rather cat-like in their own ways. You can't be more than 12 or 13, still practically a child. Yeah, you're right. She's so chipper all the time that it's hard to really be cold towards her. I mean, I don't think that stopped you, Elisa. You were mean to Reen for like a month, and look at him. He's like the nicest person ever. Yeah, I don't think I could bring myself to spurn her. She's got this natural charm, I think. Be that as it may, her presence here reeks of blood and iron, if you take my meaning. Well, it certainly seems that way.
As such, I'm planning on granting you a bit of additional assistance.
Oh yeah, he did say that. I forgot about that. It's been like 4 days since I recorded that video.
I should have it ready for you in a few weeks' time.
Or like 3. Hard to believe a girl like that could be an agent of the intelligence division. Just going off what happened in North, there's not that much that would make me doubt it now. And then there's that thing, Aura Getlum, that's always with her. He calls it Lammy, but aside from its name, we don't really know anything about it. It seems to be made from some strange material with both metallic and ceramic properties, hard but pliable. Agreed. Doesn't like anything you could make, even with the most cutting-edge orbital technology. When I touched it, it felt really nice and cold. Wow, so you actually touched it? And it hasn't escaped my notice that it seems strikingly similar to the combat shells we fight in our practical exams. Also, several of y'all touched it when she whacked you with his arms in the combat section. Like, Reen got very familiar with Lammy's touch when he got smacked in the face. I think it's safe to assume they share some kind of common origin. Yeah, the instructor said she was forced to accept it, though in a sense, Milliam was forced on us too. You're welcome to think what you will, but I don't trust her. Either way, she's technically our classmate now, like it or not. It may be a little early to tell whether we can trust her as a friend, but we should be able to figure out pretty quickly whether we can count on her as a member of Class 7. Well, that's a logical way of breaking it down, at least. You're right, it's still pretty early to be making sweeping judgments. Knowing her background would be great, but what's really important is whether we can count on her in a fight. Agreed, as students of a military academy, that's probably the most important issue. We'll have to wait and see. Well, considering we're living in the same dormitory, it'd be good if we all got along. Yeah, I wouldn't want her to think we're trying to make her feel unwelcome either. Bro, we've been trapped in this classroom for like 30 minutes. And then there's Crow. What's he like, Green? You seem like you get along with him pretty well. Well, he owes me a lot of money. Compound interest and all that? I don't know if I'd put it quite like that. If I had to say, I'd describe him as a capricious gambling addict, way too prone to ante up for every hand. Adios, Alphas. He sounds like a kind of miscreant one would be better off avoiding. You can count on when the chips are down, though. He really helped me out last month when Elise went into that old schoolhouse. He's good in a fight and pretty handy with Zargus, too. Maybe we're worrying over nothing, then. Still, I'm not sure how to connect with him, you know? Well, at least we're in separate dorms for the time being. We'll just have to see how things go. Oh, separate dorms for the time being.
Hello, Reen Schwarzer speaking.
Oh, hi there, Reen.
Oh, what's
Do you
up?
have a moment?
No.
Toa? Well, this is a surprise.
You're canceling all our work for tomorrow? We can actually have a free day?
What can I do for you?
You've got a new student in your class now, right?
Yeah.
Well, her student notebook is ready, so I figured it'd be best to get it to her as soon as possible. And since you handled it last time, would you mind coming to get it for her?
Ah, you're talking about Milliam. Sure thing. I'll come get it right away. You want me to swing by the student council room then?
That'd be great. Thanks.
She sure doesn't waste any time. I should head on over to the student council room before it gets too late.
Absolutely not. I refuse. I gotta talk to people. What's up? Sure is quieter in the academy when the nobles are away, but I'm so jealous. Wish the rest of us could just go home for a month. I'd be able to beg my parents to take me shopping all the time. The nobles are also lucky. I haven't been to my local shops in forever. I miss all of them. Oh my god, everybody's here, dude. What's up? Class 7's a whole lot livelier these days, isn't it? Even putting Crow aside, I never would have expected some girl we met in Nord to become our classmate. Life is full of surprises. It feels like they've already become part of the fabric of our class, too. Definitely. I don't think we should have any trouble getting along with them. Well, for now, at least. You team seem more like responsible adults than any of us, Instructor Sarah included. You think you can look after Milliam? Not a problem. We're all classmates, after all. Helping each other out is what we do. Is it, though? Is it? That Argetlam of hers is a real mystery, though, isn't it? I'm really curious about how it works. Also, she said you can call it Lammy? Crow should theoretically be able to take care of himself, but maybe we should ask Milliam how she's doing with classes. I'm worried that some of the material might be a bit on the difficult side for her, so we should all try and help her out. We apparently suck at school, so don't ask us. That's the one benefit of us testing so low. Reen has no obligation to help anyone ever. Reen offers to study with someone, they're like, nah, I'll be fine on my own, dude. Originally, Habel was going to be our lead violinist, now though I'm on the hook for it. I was worried at first since it seems to be so out of the blue, but things seem to be shaping up nicely now. You know, I had my doubts at first, but now I feel like I've made the right decision in choosing this academy. And one way I'll know for sure is if I can help this performance go off without a hitch. Let me say glad to hear, I'll be cheering you on. That one paragraph or sentence was messing me up. You know, I had my doubts about it at first, but I had the right decision. I'm gonna make it be all great. What's up, Mint? It's a bit scary that we're gonna play without Habel, but even so, I wanted to give him a performance he can be proud of. Mint's gonna embarrass us all. I hurt my arm pretty bad last month, so I'm not gonna be able to play in the concert tomorrow. I just have to leave it in the hands of Elliot and the others. I'm pretty frustrated with myself, but all I can do now is help them out with whatever they need. What's up, Bridgie? We'll be setting up a piano in the church on the day of the concert. This is going to be a fantastic concert. Everyone's been practicing really hard. I mean, is it really a concert if you just got 3 people? I mean, I don't want to harsh the vibe, but I feel like concerts may be a little misleading. Margarita's going back home for summer vacation. I never realized just how quiet this club is without her. It would be nice to get some new members. Yeah, I mean, it's just you and her. You've made plenty of friends during your time here at Thor's, haven't you, Reen? And not just in your own year either. You forged friendships with second years, instructors, and staff alike. You're the kind of person that people feel confident placing their trust in. Yeah? Thank you very much. Kind of out of the blue. But when you say it like that, it makes you a little self-conscious. On the contrary, you should be proud. Well then, as one of the instructors tasked with handing out Lionheart— Oh, we're getting a medal, dude! I hereby present you with a Medal of Friendship. Let's go! Thank you so much. This is a real honor. Other than that, I don't really know what to say. I'm not really used to this sort of thing. Neither am I, to be honest. But I suppose all I can ask is that you continue to deepen your friendships with everyone. I'll be cheering you on as you do. I will, and thank you again. My father was persistent in his attempts to convince me to return home. He said that as the daughter of Count Alfheim, I have duties to attend to. I, in turn, explained to him that as an instructor, my highest priority is my devotion to my students. I probably won't be able to be quite as selfish once I marry. Wait a minute, the Alfheim family is one of the best-known families in the Sutherland province. Well, I never heard of them. I guess Instructor Mary has more to worry about than I thought. Between teaching classes and acting as an advisor for 3 clubs, there's simply no time for you to return home. The Wind Orchestra is performing tomorrow too. Oh, it's already tomorrow. Or it's that close. I know they said it was like towards the end of the month, but... Oh, did I talk to you? What's up, everyone? I've been in top form lately. I might have been in a slump last month, but now I'm back and better than ever. I'll use this momentum to craft some of my greatest work. Lady, you haven't made any progress in like 4 months. Your horse looks the exact same. Guys, you still haven't painted anything. The art club, I'm sorry, you guys, you're not cutting it. Your painting has really been improving, Gaius. Meanwhile, I've hardly gotten any better. It's all thanks to you and Clara. You guided me along a path I never would have found my way through on my own, and I couldn't be more thankful. Oh, please, it all comes down to working harder than you working harder than everyone else. Still, Clara's been going full bore for a while now. She's just gonna collapse at some point, isn't she? Lind and I have really developed our skills by learning from Clara's devotion to the arts. If I've improved at all since arriving at Thor's, I owe it all to this club. Ultimately, I'm glad I joined. Well, that's good. I wish we'd joined the Going Home Club. We were even given the secret lore by that second year, I think, and I think it was the second year, but we didn't listen. Says nobody's here. Any kitty cats? No kitty cats? No sparkles or nothing? Oh yeah, what's that medal we got? What the fuck? That's really good. That's like really, really good. 1000 HP. God, auto CP up is so nice though. I mean, really, you're just getting the HP. The defense is kind of like whatever. Can we give it to Laura and make her the tankiest girl the world's ever seen? Because really, like, defense doesn't really do much here in this, at least in the with the mods, since enemies have so much extra attack that you can't realistically get your defense high enough to the point that it would actually work on boss enemies and stuff. But raw HP is still really useful. It's hard to get, I mean, the sleep, faint, nightmare, and confusion immunity is really nice. Plus 5 speed. And the evasion, you know, we're getting to the point where evasion is like, it's high enough that it actually kind of matters. But bump my controller, and now it's disconnected. Come on, you can do it. Having some more controller issues lately. 1000 HP. I mean, you could probably take it for now. I don't know. For the old schoolhouse, I think I kind of want to go back to the well and use my favorite party, which is Fee, Eustace, Elliot, Reen. And then we might use like Crow and Milliam as our support characters just to use them, assuming we get access to them for the old schoolhouse stuff. And if we don't get access to them, I don't know, we'll maybe bring someone like someone who we didn't get to use in the last chapter, like Elisa or someone. How strange. Milliam's documents list her home address as private. Well, I doubt she's involved in anything shady. Probably. Hard to imagine why she'd withhold that information, given how young she is. Well, I can't imagine that she'd be involved in anything shady, at least. She doesn't know. She lacks critical information. Green Schwarzer. Oh, are you giving me a medal too? It seems as though you've been working very hard in your field studies, and even harder when you help the student council. I can hardly imagine how many people you've helped tackle their problems, all while showing compassion and honor. As an instructor here at Thor's, you could have not made me prouder. That's very kind of you, but I'm not sure I've done anything someone else would have done in my shoes. Shut up, Reen. To be honest, I say the people I've helped have let me develop as a person, so it's anything but a chore. Bro, do you remember that fighting that robot with Alan? I don't know what you would call that, if not a chore. The more you talk, the more right I know I am. Now, I hereby present you with the Medal of Compassion. Miss Herschel won this last year, so you know you're in good company. Well, this is far from a formal award ceremony. I do hope you'll accept. Even so, this is quite an honor. Of course I'll accept. Thank you very much. Having the ability and the will to help others is a precious thing. I hope that you continue to do so as you grow older. Bro, is it any good? Pretty good for, like, you know, Elliot, Eustace, Emma. Probably Eustace is who we'll go ahead and give it to, since I do want to use him in the old schoolhouse. We'll go ahead and equip that early. What else do we have that increases arts or speed? Prismatic Cape is nice. Sure. And then you... I don't know. I probably won't use Emma this section. Since, did we have Emma for the last chapter? No, we didn't. Did we? I can't remember. I know it was us, Machias. Us, Machias. I know Machias was there. Fee was there. Laura was there. Elliot was there. So we didn't have Emma. And we didn't have Eustace. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like Eustace more. So we'll probably use him, but... Can't believe a terrorist showed up in Heimdall, though it's lucky that so few people were injured. But it's a shame that we live in a world where such unnecessary violence is so prevalent. Situations like this just make me realize how foolish people can be sometimes. No better place to skip class than the infirmary. You shouldn't have said that out loud. Wind Orchestra will be holding a performance at the chapel in town tomorrow. I'm handing out flyers in the hopes that everyone will come along to see it. Please come along if you have the time too, Reen. Alright, now come here, dude. We're getting all the medals all of a sudden. You know, I got a real air of confidence since you first showed up here in Thor's. Or you've gotten a real air of confidence. Really? I haven't really noticed much of a difference. But maybe it's because of all the difficult opponents we had to face over our course of the year. Yeah, I heard you been through a lot of those field studies or whatever. I gotta get to someone, so fears might as well be you. What? I'm in charge of handing out one of them Lionheart medals this year, so yeah. It's a Medal of Valor. Congrats. Okay. Wow, thank you so much. It's a real honor to be awarded something like this. Yeah, well, whatever. Keep doing what you're doing, I suppose. Rowan and Angelica got it last year, and to be honest, I think you're on track to accomplish just as much as they did. I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off, but this is gonna motivate me to work even harder from now on. Okay, that's 3 out of 4, dude. We're collecting them like the freaking Infinity Stones. Strength and speed, that's hard to argue with. Now, it may not... I mean, auto CP up is so good. 25 strength is a good bit, though. Well, we're probably not going to use Laura in this next section. Like, if we're going to use a physical attacker, it'd be Gaius, just for some variety. Or Crow. I don't really know what Crow's stats are like yet, so we'll have to maybe make a decision then. I would assume he's probably more like Fee, where he's more speed-based. And granted, we may not even get access to him and Milliam for the old schoolhouse stuff. I don't know. I am beside myself to know that we have a student who is in danger of being held back. That Crow armburst is a disgrace. This is why the lower class are in the middle of liability. Does he not realize that these types of things are which hurt the Academy's reputation? Be sure to inform him that we made a special exception for him once, and only once. He's all out of chances. I can only hope that we never find ourselves in this situation again. Be sure that you don't let him corrupt you. Well, you know, you did just reveal that you care about our well-being, and you don't think we're a lost cause, because we're not already corrupted. Do we have anything? No. We need to make a prankster eventually if we're gonna... I mean, I don't know. We might try and do the Supreme... But, like, the biggest problem is I ain't got no money, man. Maybe when we get to the end of the game, I can rescind the no grinding rule very temporarily just to get money to buy ingredients to grind out Supreme and peculiar stuff. I don't know. Instructor Neidhart's been even busier than usual lately. He leaves immediately after his classes are done and seems to be contacting someone on a regular basis. Could it be? Does Instructor Neidhart have a secret girlfriend? Well, he's probably, I don't know, like a bad dude. Neidhart is a little sus. Actually, he's moderate to high moderate sus. I don't think he's involved with like the Liberation Front per se. He could be, like, I mean, he could be the C guy. You know, he kind of has the skills for it, and he does disappear a lot. If any of the faculty are going to be involved in, or going to be C, it's probably him. I'm trying to, I mean, we know he's at Gorelia Fortress when the stuff goes down later. Now he's there as Neidhart and is apparently leading one of the groups or whatnot, but I am still interested to learn like why the hell we're at Gorelia Fortress. That's exciting that we're finally kind of getting to learning that. Now that you have your uniform, your equipment, you should be good to go. Thanks, Teach. Good energy, I like it. Still have a hard time wrapping my mind around how someone like you ended up in Ironblood, though. That boss of yours is a real mystery, man. You're pretty mysterious yourself. Seems like your life was really interesting before you started teaching. Now, who could have told you that? She asked the girl from the Imperial Intelligence Division. Milliam, let me give you a word of advice. His Majesty might have gotten you into this academy, but in my class, you're just another student. Just keep that in mind and everything will be gravy, okay? Or else I will end you. Righto! What do regular student-teachers relationships look like again? I think I've forgotten. Yo, Princey P. How many? What's the other one we need? Okay, heroism? But isn't that like one that's like you get for getting all of them? It's a word about Principal Van Dyke. The 4 great... Isn't there, like, it said those something if you get all of them, I thought? Or there was like a secret one? I don't know, maybe I made that up. Bro, give me the medal. Ah! Chancellor Osborne was known to be the bold type during his time in the military. However, he seems to become even more coercive after becoming a politician. Now that terrorists have begun to pop up, I'm sure he won't hesitate to enforce some strict countermeasures too. I can only hope that no innocents get caught up in it at all. He did mention that Principal Van Dyke was his former superior, didn't he? I wonder what caused him to leave the military and become a politician. So what's the qualifications for heroism? Have received all 3 of the that's it, all 3 aforementioned medals and demonstrated outstanding ability. Okay. Fine. I'll remember this. I'll remember this. When the school gets attacked at some point and you're like, oh no, Reen, please save the academy. No, save the academy. I'm gonna be like, hey, remember that time you didn't give me the Medal of Heroism? You're all dead, please. Game? Controller? Controller? Buddy? Pal? Friend? Guy? There we go. Oh. Come on. I hear tell that you got yourself invited to Valflame Palace last month. Now that's an achievement right there. Anyone who's ever voiced their doubts about Class 7's probably eating their words right about now. What's more, I've heard you found yourself some new members. Looks like everything's coming up Class 7. Well, you've earned it. Just keep it up, you hear? Thanks, who will? Saving the princess and getting invited to Valflame Palace? Now that's just downright heroic. Not heroic enough for a heroism medal, of course. Anyone who died at Class 7 is probably having a change of heart right about now. Okay, so I think we're done here, right? Yeah. Oh, it's Becky and Hugo. What's up? Still the summer festival food stalls on your mind? Nah, that's not it. I've been helping my dad at the Grand Market for years now, so food stalls are like one of the things I live for. So I've just thought that I want to set one up right now. Ah, nah, I completely forgot, but I actually love food stalls even more than I love working. First multiple jobs, now a food stall? You can never tell what she'll do next, can you? Okie dokie. Secret auditorium is now access. Come on. I have ordered because the problem with my controller is that the connection point is, where you like plug it in, is damaged. And so that like if it's not in the right position, it'll sometimes, it'll disconnect like this. I have ordered a Bluetooth adapter for it, but it's just taken months to get here. Come on. I don't know why, it's like I've been able to kind of jury rig it to work right, but I think maybe my jury rigging is coming undone. We'll maybe address that once this video ends. I will be challenging Elisa tomorrow. Yeah, she may have outsprinted me, and indeed she scored better on the midterms, but all that is in the past. This time is nigh to show her what the great Ferris Florod is truly capable of. I'll be victorious tomorrow, no matter what! Time is nigh to show her what I, Ferris Florod, am truly capable of. Is it losing to Elisa? Ah! Theresia's parents told her to come right home for summer break. Apparently they're none too pleased that she's hanging out with a commoner like me. Sounds like she got a real tongue lashing for it when they first found out too. But even after that, she never stopped talking to me. You don't make friends as true as Theresa every day. Mark my words, Milliam is yet to show her true colors. And I have every intention of exposing her true reasons for joining Class 7. I mean, it's to spy on us. I think maybe you're worrying about it too much. Perhaps you're not worrying enough. Our class is full of good souls, far too naive and accepting for their own good. At least one of us needs to look at others with a critical eye, and I happen to be a rather fine skeptic. Well, I suppose having several points of view is to consider is a good thing. But try not to make her feel unwelcome, okay? Ah, fine. Now, speaking of skepticism, Reen, have you heard that the moon isn't real? It's a bummer that Lambert and Whitcomb are on vacation. Horse riding's been getting more and more fun for me lately, so I wanted to get another lesson in. Oh well, I guess I just need to wait until he's back. If so desired, I could be willing to spare the time to teach you. Thanks but no thanks, you're the last person I want help from. I have every intention of exposing her true reasons for joining our class. The only question is whether or not she'll make it an easy task. Eustace, please don't stalk the 12-year-old. Okay. Also, Kitty Cat? What's up, Kitty Cat? Planning evil schemes? Trying to get us killed again? She ain't so happy. Maybe I'll bring her some more another time. I've got my eye on you, Cat. With your ancient secrets. Trying to awaken Demon Reen by any means necessary. Get him, Alan. I'm just saying, if you don't become the strongest man ever, I'll never forgive you. With Patrick gone, I got the chance to close the skill gap between us. He's gonna be in for a shock next time we face off. Oh yeah, I heard the Wind Orchestra will be holding a concert. Red's gonna be one of the performers too, so naturally I really want to go and watch. And you are, right? You are going? You better go, or else the next training session will be beating up on you, not a robot? Look, Alan, your natural strength's your greatest asset. Is it though? Have you seen how much damage he does? Patrick makes up for his lack of it with multiple strikes. If you want to beat him, you gotta find the right moment and take him out in one big powerful strike. Do it like I told you and things will work out just fine. Got it. Patrick showed up at every single practice since Fidelis destroyed him last month. But Alan's not looking too shabby himself. He might even catch up to Patrick before too long. At first, I was planning on going home like the rest of the upper class students, but then I remembered how bored I got when I did that last year. I guess I'm more suited to staying behind and spending some quality fencing time with the other club members. How's the swimming going? You seem more comfortable with what you're doing now, Monica. Perhaps you should try increasing your distance. That said, there's no need to rush. Your pace should be entirely up to you. I know, one step at a time. Thanks to Laura, I'm slowly getting better and better. Maybe the 50-yard dream isn't as far off as I thought. Monica's really improved in her swimming lately. She might reach her goal of swimming 50-yard any day now. Hello? Anyone up here? Nope. Okay. We got gardening club, engineering building, library, student union. What's up, girlie? Adele really is gorgeous, isn't she? And that body of hers is like, wow. I just had to get my hands on it. Otherwise, what's the point of even being in this stupid club? Gardening, perhaps? That's for the birds. I just have to get my hands on Edel's body. There's no point to being in this club. The question is how? How? I decided not to go home for summer vacation. I just couldn't bring myself to leave all the flowers behind after all. These flowers are really coming into their own now too. Oh yeah, they are. They're blooming, dude. The stems of these flowers are growing larger. Looks like my plants are growing up pretty well now. You can do it, flowers. They should bloom soon enough. Almost there. Oh. There are new students in Class 7. I smell new material. You might not get you might get to hear it all about it in the next Oven time. Sorry to go to the school and not know Crow, but I've never seen that tiny girl before. Maybe it's time to do a bit of research. Please don't. Alright, we fishing. This is Lake Lord Star territory. I didn't hit the button.
Caught one.
Reveal your secrets to me. You're not a secret? Sir?
Now that's a catch.
You will all be fished. Do we have a crab? I think we have a crab, right?
Caught one.
Now let's try the medium rod. We haven't used it quite as much as the other two.
Not bad.
Watcha. Okay, not really much of nothing here. Sir?
Now that's a catch.
Got some money out of it. I forgot to use our ground bait at the watering hole back in the Empire. I meant to do that, but I didn't remember. Oh, we already came in here. Okay, talk to all you guys. How's the old schoolhouse doing? Let's check that out. Anyone over here? I don't see nobody. Door's locked. No ancient voices trying to speak to us. Hello. Marion, how's Scro fitting in with your class? Perfectly. It's like he's been there since our first day. That's good to hear. Well, make sure you get some use out of him. He might be lazy, but he knows what he's doing when things get serious. I have noticed. Now we have Million to worry about. I'm sure we'll be relying on him quite a bit. Don't forget to ask us or Toa if you need anything. We'll try and help you out however we can. Thanks, I will. Believe it or not, Crow was actually part of the Arcus testing last year. You should have no problem forming combat links with him. He'll be pretty useful if you can wring some work out of him. Ended up having to put that pseudo armor in storage for now, mostly because I wasn't getting anywhere examining it. That's a shame. I was hoping that it'd help us crack some of the mysteries surrounding the old schoolhouse. Sorry I wasn't more helpful. I do plan on going back to it now and then, just on the off chance I end up making some progress. In the meantime, though, you might want to keep exploring the old schoolhouse for yourself. Reminds me. Opening slots. Well, are any new quartz available? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure this is all old. I wouldn't mind upgrading Eustace's slots, but I guess there's no need to just yet. We'll save it until we actually get to the old schoolhouse. There's no point in upgrading early. Hello, book alert, book alert. I can't believe that terrorist showed up in Heimdall of all places. The capital isn't terribly far from here either. It sends chills down your spine, doesn't it? I can't imagine there's anything worth attacking here in Trista, though. Recommended reading corner. Have we opened the second? The media, generational conflicts. Alright, let's water up and read about the dang old media. I imagine that if asked for the most famous example of mass media in Erebonia, most people would respond with the name Imperial Chronicle. The Imperial Chronicle has been in publication for over 100 years and was originally read only by the wealthy and written to cater to the interests of the nobility. However, that stance has begun to show a remarkable change, the primary cause of this being the conflict between the two competing political factions, which have been the subject of much discussion in recent years. The Reformist faction, represented by the current Chancellor, Gileath Osborne, has had by far the most impact in the Imperial capital Heimdall, where the Imperial Chronicle has its headquarters. As such, the paper has felt compelled to report on his reforms in a fairly positive light. However, as a large portion of the paper's readership is located in the provinces where the four great houses and the other nobles who they represent still hold the most influence, the Imperial Chronicle has been forced to cater to these people as well, leading to its political alignment being quite inconsistent. In fact, there appears to be occasions where editions of the paper published in Heimdall are slightly different to those published in the provinces. In the midst of all this, Radio Trista, a station which broadcasts through Orbital Radio, has been able to gain significant popularity through its programs which are not tied down by such obligations. Established by former Imperial Chronicle reporters and ex-Reinford Company technicians, The station has been aiming to increase its popularity by getting orbital radios in the hands of pubs and beer halls across the country and attracting listeners with music programs, news reporting, and live sports broadcasts. However, Trista radio station's rise in popularity has been a source of great displeasure to the Imperial Chronicle, and there have been reports of the paper blatantly attempting to put pressure on the station. One of these moves was the establishment of a new radio station, Imperial Chronicle Radio, through which the Imperial Chronicle can compete directly with the existing stations. Just a radio station and Roar Orbital Radio Network. Station. I wanted to say network, and then I was like, no, but it's station, but then I corrected back to network for some reason. Another step is the move towards introducing regulations against the monopolization of public orbital waves, although there are fears that this would eventually lead to censorship of news broadcasts by the Imperial government. At the very least, the Noble faction does not seem opposed to censorship in principle. What? Nobles wanting censorship? Crazy. In light of all this, it seems all but assured that the competition and conflict between old and new kings of media will become all the more fierce in the years to come. I can only pray that this competition leads to change for the better and not for the worse. Nielsen. Is that our boy? I don't know if they... I think they've said his first name. I don't remember if it started with an M or not, but I'm assuming that's probably Nielsen. Instructor Thomas recommended that I read a few history books, and I'm not just going to ignore a teacher's advice. Believe it or not, I'm really enjoying them. It's interesting to read all about the struggles people used to go through. It is odd that you don't have a name, because you show up in here like every time, but you're still just female student. Like, it's always the same girl. It's not like it's a random, character that only shows up once. I mean, she's always here. Reen? Reen! He's been possessed by his demon form! Yeah, whenever Reen starts running around in circles, that's the lore explanation. He's been possessed. It's not that my controller stopped working. Just wanted to make sure we couldn't go to Trista. Alright, well, what we'll do is we'll talk to everyone in the student union, but we'll end the video once we get to where Toa is. Or get, outside of the student council room. My son works over in Heimdall, so that terrorist attack has me pretty shaken. Still, he's alright, so that's all that really matters. It's terrifying to think that something like that happened so close to the Imperial Palace. Guess all the second years are thinking about what they want to do after they graduate. What will I be doing this time next year? I ended up going back home during the summer break. It was great to see my mom and little siblings, and they're all happy and healthy too. If I want to make life for them as easy as possible, it's about time I decide what I want to do with mine. The swimming club seems to have found its groove. I think it's time I do the same. If I can decide what I want to do with my life, it'll make things easier for my family. I feel like I'm the only person in the club without a clear-cut goal they're out to achieve. What will I be doing this time next year? That Crow Armburst really is a fool. I have no idea what Toa and Angelica see in him. I really don't. I can't believe Crow has to repeat a year. I never saw that coming. But now that I think of it, I do remember a period of time where he skipped most of his classes last year, so... Okay, you said the same thing. If it wasn't for iced tea and other frosty beverages, I'd probably collapse on my way home. I don't know how everyone in the sports club can run around in the seat. I really don't. I bet the Noble students are kicking back, relaxing in a giant mansion with cold drinks in their hands right now. Meanwhile, his commoners all slaving away in this heat. The more I think about the madder I get. And then he dies of heat stroke. It's hard to believe there was a terrorist attack in Heimdall. I won't forget the name Imperial Liberation Front anytime soon, now that my son is over there. Oh yeah, we did meet his son, didn't we? Bunch of troublemaking lowlifes. Hope they're arrested soon. Also, we met your son. He said, give Reen 10 recipes? I don't know what that was about, but yeah, if you don't do it, he will be mad at you. I promise. Oh, do you sell a newspaper for me? You do. We do have some money for once. We're also in like an okay position, I think, on items. Like, I think we still have some tier all bombs. Like an okay amount. Okay, we only have 4. We might want to buy some tiras and trade in, because tira bombs are pretty useless at this point. They have kind of, they've stopped scaling to be all that useful. Can we cook food with Million in them if they... I guess they have to join the party, maybe? I heard that Crow got switched to Class 7. Makes you wonder. Wait, don't tell me. He's in it for love? Oh, which of the boys could be gunning for? So many possibilities. I don't even know where to begin with that. Crow was to change classes to be closer to his beloved first years. My heart, I can't take it. Yeah. Whatever you say, lady. I'm technically a noble, but nobody's ever asked me to go home for the summer. Not that there'd be any point anyway. Dad's always off on his fishing trips, and my brother's still over in Crossbell, so I might as well stay here. Family's always more concerned with making sure I could fish than making sure I act like a noble. Not that that's a huge surprise. The Lake Lord family motto is just, one should devote their life to fishing. Okay, give me 2. We're having our match with the upper class tomorrow. This time our club is on the line. We can't afford to lose. It's possible my father might have had a hand in Milliam joining our class, given that he's on the board of directors. I doubt he knows much more about the Intelligence Division's plans than we do, though. I think it's likely he helped facilitate our transfer to the academy at the very least. They seem like they know each other, too. His close friendship with the Chancellor may have deeper implications than I thought. Stefan has become a far better player than when I first met him. I don't want his dedication and effort to go to waste, so I'm planning on going all out tomorrow. Whenever someone's about to checkmate him, Machias just pulls out his piece. This is, are you sure you really want to move your bishop to, e4? Are you really sure? I stumbled across a note entitled The 7 Mysteries of Thor's Military Academy while I was cleaning. It makes you wonder what could have left it there. It has a rather ominous air about it, does it not? Even stranger, its contents differ from the 7 mysteries I'm familiar with. Yeah. Okay, wait for the door to close, wait for the door to close. Ah! You looking for Fidelio? He's going home for the summer. It's my job to take care of the club while he's away. Oh no. Right, think it's about time to head into town. Can't waste the opportunity to take some pics of girls enjoying the summer break, right? With their permission, you mean? With their permission? Well, you know what? Here's what we'll do. For a little bonus, we'll go ahead and read the Imperial Chronicle. But we will need a water first. Terrorist attack. Follow-up. A representative for the Imperial family has spoken regarding the aftermath of the terrorist attack which took place in Heimdall recently. The spokesman confirmed that Princess Alphen, who was placed in the greatest danger on that day, had sustained no serious injuries and was able to return to school as usual. Who are the Imperial Liberation Front? The recent terrorist attack placed both Princess and Princess Alphen in danger and resulted in Imperial Governor Regnant sustaining injuries. While it may seem that peace has returned to the streets of Heimdall, the culprits behind these unspeakable acts, who call themselves the Imperial Liberation Front, have yet to be apprehended. The elite force responsible for their capture, the Railway Military Police, insist that they are doing everything in their power to find them. Thanks to those who helped. Chaos might have reigned in Heimdall on the day of the attack, but that did not stop a number of people from doing their part to bring the situation under control. Each of these courageous souls has received a letter of thanks to the Imperial government. Where's my letter? Also, did it come with, I don't know, about 20 billion mira for saving the country? No? Okay. Extra special thanks are due to one young student who took command to restore calm in Dracos Plaza, and a group of civilians who succeeded in rescuing Princess Alphen from harm's way. These people have received particular appreciation for their deeds. Have we, though? Have we? Trade Conference approaches. At the end of this month, the long-awaited West Zemuria Trade Conference will finally commence in Crossbell. Unsurprisingly, those involved are already hard at work for the conference, which will be based around international and economic matters, and may potentially determine the future direction and development of Western Zemuria. When asked a comment, a government representative responded, "An international conference on this continental scale like this has never been attempted before. Naturally, we intend to fulfill our responsibility as a great nation." The representatives from the Erebonian Empire expected to be Chancellor Osborne and His Highness Prince Olivertz. Imperial Chronicle Radio is 1 year old. Do you enjoy listening to Orbital Radio broadcasts? This reporter certainly does. For those who aren't familiar, Orbital Radio allows you to enjoy audio programs anytime, anywhere. With the Imperial Chronicle's affiliated radio station, the Imperial Chronicle Radio, now 1 year old, this seems as good a time as any to sell its benefits to the world. And a PR representative was happy to sum up exactly what makes Imperial Chronicle Radio so special. We may not have been the first radio station to be established, but this station is available in the widest area and conducts the most balanced and impartial broadcast lies. Lake Ebel. In today's travelogue, we will be visiting the beautiful Lake Ebel on the eastern side of the Empire. This stunning spot is an ideal destination for those looking to enjoy a tranquil vacation away from the stresses of daily life. Furthermore, the historic stronghold of St. Sandlot on the opposite shores of Lohengrin Castle provides the perfect backdrop to a lakeshore stroll. The area is best reached by traveling south from Brehard along the Ebel branch line. I wonder if maybe we're going to Legram for this chapter. Because, I don't know. We may not necessarily be doing the Gorelia stuff in this chapter. It's possible. But it's also possible it's next chapter. So if we don't go to the Gorelia, then I would assume we're probably going to Legram. And you may be wondering why we zoomed in. It's not because my controller died mid-sentence. What? But alright, that's going to be it for this video. Next time we will deliver our thing to Toa and pretty much get ready for our field day, or free day, I mean. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.